Hickory Run State Park was the setting for the Bear Claws 2008 Ice Bowl tournament. The conditions that were predicted to be sunny and in the 40s were nothing but cold, windy, and the temps in the low 30s. This day was a bear. To make matters worse, the rain that had fallen the night before had frozen, making the course an entire sheet of ice. We talked to Pat Lucchese about how to deal with putting on a sheet of ice.
The worst part is when you miss, because if you go at it, it's just going to skip away and you're going to have a further putt than you had when you started with.
The local crew, Bob Zadie, Mike Solt, Alan Mindus, Adam Graytock, Greg Silasic, laid down rock salt along the tee pads. How does players like Pat feel about the terrain around the basket?
Our good TDs, Mike and Bob, they put a lot of salt down, but I think we need a little more. But I think as we warm up, it'll definitely help. And we'll have close to 100 people, so the more people, the more traction. It'll loosen up. We'll be fine by the second round.
Laying down that much salt is impossible, as locals lay down as much rock salt on the day of and night before as humanly possible. Players make the best of the terrain that they could. Pouring pro and Skylands club member Steve Brinster seemed to have control over the icy conditions with this drive on hole 8. But most players, both pro and am, met with the following frustration. Most players are there to compete, but also participate in the charitable nature of this event.
Well, we hope to do some damage on the course today and have a lot of fun. Out here with my son, who's just disappeared, but I hope I can do him proud. I'm just a beginner at the sport, but we'll see how it goes. Well, I know it's nationwide. They do a lot of fundraisers, and it's great. We have a big crowd. Last year we had almost 100 participants. Looks like it's the same size this year. So a lot of money for a good cause.
Ice Bowl tournaments are nationwide, local tournaments in which proceeds are devoted to charity. This year's beneficiary of the proceeds from the 2008 Hickory Run Ice Bowl are the Commission on Economic Opportunity for People Helping People. Commissioner David Ritter was in attendance and had this to say about the event.
Well, we are very humbled. We were invited by the local Disc Golf Association to take part in their tournament here at Hickory Run State Park today. And they offered to support our charity, which is Ending Childhood Hunger. We service a little bit over 20,000 families with children annually, and we go out and we help families that have what we call food insecurity. They don't have enough food to feed their family and their children. So I think it's very important that children have proper nutrition in our area. It's used to help them stay healthy. It helps them in school. And it teaches them also about the value of proper food. We're just very much humbled by the association today and very thankful that they have chosen us as the charity of choice.
And how did David learn of this event?
Well, actually, the disc golfers sought us out. They were looking for a charity in the Luzerne County area in northeastern Pennsylvania. And I received a call from Mike Solt, who was wondering about what childhood hunger was in our area, and we had a meeting. Then we met a second time with both Michael and Bob Zadie, who are the co-chairs of the tournament. We invited them to come down to our food pantry, and they took a look at our food product and saw our operation, about how we receive donated food and cash donations in our area. We put it together for food baskets, which we deliver to people that are without proper nutrition in their homes. We have a series of food pantries also in the area where people actually come to the pantry, typically on a monthly basis, and it helps them with their food items and their food needs.
David did not know much about disc golf before being contacted by the Bear Claws and had this to say about the sport.
I think it's really quite awesome, to be very honest with you. It's very, very well organized. I see the course layout. The people who are competing today are tremendous. They really have a talent for throwing the disc and trying to sink the hole. Brings me back to my days from high school when we used to play frisbees and we used to have aerobies. I remember those days, and now to see it translated into a sport where people are having good, clean fun in the area, plus benefiting our charity, it's a wonderful thing.
The tournament peaked with a total of 74 players, a charitable field for a local event. Tournament director Bob Zadie had this to say about the event.
Well, disc golf communities all over the country are running these ice bowls as a way of raising funds and food for various charities. The charity that we have selected is the Economic Commission of Luzerne County, and specifically the charity that these funds and foods are going to are for ending childhood hunger. That is the specific charity that we're going to try to do this for and raise a lot of quality food and money for this event. It's the type of thing where disc golfers are just doing good things as a way to promote our sport, but also to give back to the community as well.
And what is it that led Bob Z and the crew to this charity organization this year?
This is something that really is needed because a lot of children that are going without food these days. There's a lot of families that don't have the means to feed their children, and children are a great resource, so we wanted to try to do something to give back to them.
With the windy conditions at hand, it may make it competitive for some players, but Eric had this to say about the nature of the event.
I think the spirit of the Ice Bowl really is for people to come out. Obviously, the main thing is to really bring awareness to a variety of charities, typically food and hunger related. For the most part, we decide various groups. We're actually donating to the Ending Children's Hunger locally here in Wilkes-Barre. What we do is people come out, bring food donations and cash donations to help raise money for the cause. We do various fundraisers like Closest to Pin contests, and we're also having a soup and chili cook-off this year, and you can see Brian here enjoying some of the soup. We have a variety, so we basically come out and feed ourselves and help to feed the less fortunate, while at the same time having a great time. You can see everybody here is having a blast, so we're really just happy to be out and helping a good cause.
The integrity and spirit of Ice Bowl tournaments go back a long way.
The Ice Bowls began in the mid-90s, began by a fellow named Rick Rothstein, who was the publisher of Disc Golf World News in Kansas. And they had severe ice when the winter was time, and no one could play. So he wanted to create an opportunity for a charity event that would allow the camaraderie of Frisbee golf to happen without all the competition. In the winter, it was nicer that way. And everyone, like we do here, made chili and had a potluck dinner, and it became a very family-oriented thing. And as it grew from Kansas, and he started organizing t-shirts and discs that he would offer with the Ice Bowl prize, it became a kind of a business for him that he grew into the National Ice Bowl, which also became one of the major charity generators for disc golf. Well, I don't know how many disc golf ice bowls there are now, but they do happen all over the country, from what they call the real ice bowl in Wisconsin to ice bowls that happen in Florida, just to be as part of the charity event that is the Ice Bowl. It's a growing charity event that we've had going for, 15 years now.
Although this is a charity event, Scott Howard had this plan to overcome the ice conditions.
Well, it's definitely really icy and real hard today, and just people are sliding everywhere. So I looked in the back of my truck and I found a bungee cord and a small chain, and I kind of put it together on my foot, and I'm hoping it's going to work. I got pliers in the bag to make on-course adjustments, and hopefully that'll give you the advantage.
This charitable event managed to raise so much locally it makes you wonder, can they do it again next year? For Disc Golf Monthly, at this year's 2008 Bear Claws Ice Bowl Tournament, I'm Carl Covich.